In this problem, we want to find the greatest of the following fractions: 7 ninths, 2/3, 8 11ths, 7 tenths, 9 12ths. Some of these fractions you'll recognize right away and be able to convert them to decimals. For example, 7 tenths equals 0.70. 9 twelfths, you might recognize in its reduced form, is equal to 3/4, and that is just 0.75. 2/3, many might recognize as 0.666 infinitely. We'll just round off to 7 at one point. And the next two, if you've reviewed the instruction units on this site, you might recognize as well. 7 ninths, for example. Any single digit divided by 9 will just equal an infinite series after the decimal place of that digit. So 7 ninths becomes 0.7777 on infinitely. Also, 8 elevenths becomes a two-digit infinite sequence after the decimal place, and we can find those two digits as follows. The first digit is going to be 1 less than the numerator, so 8 minus 1 in this case is 7, 0.7, and the second digit will be 10 minus that numerator, or 10 minus 8 equals 2, and that repeats those two-digit sequence infinitely, 0.72, 72, 72, 72, 72. The result becomes quite clear at this point. The largest of the fractions is 7 ninths, which is 0.777. That's greater than 0.70, it's greater than 0.75, it's certainly greater than 0.6667, and it's even greater than 0.727272. Now, in case you did not recognize any of these conversions to decimal or another format that made for an easy comparison, you could always rely on cross multiplication of fractions. For example, if I wanted to compare 7 ninths to the fraction 8 elevenths, I would multiply the numerator of the first fraction by the denominator of the second fraction, which in this case is 7 times 11, equals 77, and then I would compare that value to the denominator of the first fraction multiplied by the second fraction. In this case, that is just 9 times 8, which many might recognize, equals 72. And if the first multiplication is greater than the second multiplication result, then my first fraction will be greater. In this case, 77 is indeed greater than 72. Therefore, I know 7 ninths is greater than 8 elevenths. If I had to do a cross multiplication comparing each fraction iteratively for all the answers, it obviously would take more time, which is why we used a different approach to begin with. But in case you don't recognize any of the conversions or can't find an easy comparison, the cross multiplication method will always work.